Okay, everybody, and welcome aboard to Ryan's How to Save Money YouTube channel. I apologize for the laggy footage, like with my front-facing camera. I will say that Samsung's quality control has kind of gone down a little bit. There's some quality issues that I'm going through with this phone itself. They gotta work on something with the camera. I've had enough, how many times do I gotta get something modern fixed on my cell phone? And I just had my finger on the microphone. Maybe they should teach me how to use it. So the thing that we're getting into today is we got a couple of cars we're gonna talk about. They're getting married soon, apparently. The first car on my list is a 2005 Ford Taurus. Guy's thinking about buying it, and in the advertisement it says that there's an overdrive issue. And in that case, my advice is to try and price out what it would cost to fix the overdrive issue, and chances are it's going to be pretty expensive. Those things, the Fords. Also, check out how it is when you shift the car from park to reverse, because all the time on Fords, when the transmissions are on their last leg, they kick at reverse. And in that case, maybe offer $1,000 for the car at most, and or ask them about a transmission job, or I'd hate to say it, but probably time to walk on that deal, unless they're willing to do it for a pretty reasonable price. Now, I know that people have families to feed and things like that, and they need to sell their car for a reason, but you don't want to buy somebody else's problem. Okay, the next one that I got in my mind, it's like a Taurus day. All the Tauruses are coming. The Tauruses are chasing everybody around today. It's a 1999 Ford Taurus with 189,000 miles on it. And this is a different style of a Taurus, where this one is still working pretty good, Yeah. You don't want to get in that car and drive it from, Charlotte to Roanoke, Virginia every day, because, it will be a money pit. You don't want to daily put 30,000 miles a year on a car like that, because it will financially rob you. It will empty your wallet. Now, if you're going to put 5,000 or 6,000 miles a year on that thing, you're okay with putting some money into it here and there, maybe putting a coolant hose and fixing the thermostat, that crap's going to break on a 1999 Ford Taurus. But on that car, you're okay with fixing the coolant hoses every here and there. But when crap starts to happen, like when the transmission starts to slip, you want to get rid of that crap. It's usually on those things is the transmission is internally shot, and it's time to say goodbye car. You can try a couple of things, like on those things, they don't have a CVT transmission. They have a conventional automatic transmission. In the case with the 05, he could try putting a little Lucas stop slip in the thing, and hope and pray and be able to sell it, because same thing with the 1999. Now, the 99 doesn't have a transmission problem, but those Tauruses, if you beat on that car, it's going to give you a transmission problem. That Taurus is going to have a little pep to it, because it's a V6 engine. But you don't want to be doing high school burnouts in that thing every day, because you will burn out. You'll burn out the automatic transmission. I remember in the 90s, I've always liked cars. I was born in 02, but, they had the SHO Taurus. It was really just a show sales car, because they were advertised, it's got a Yamaha Design engine, this is as fast as it gets, okay? It's not fast at all. It was pretty much a sales plaque on those things. They were okay cars, but the 99 Taurus with the show package and the Yamaha engine, those things ate through the transmissions like I eat cookies on a Saturday night when I'm hungry. You know, you don't want to get involved with an SHO Taurus. Now the 99, you might want to bet, you might want to pick it up. Only $1,900. This is a sharp looking car for $1,900. What are you gonna get? Try offering 15 or 1,400. Hopefully you can get yourself a nice car. Now the 05, if you only live and work, in the same town as you, in that case, you might be all right with it. Put a little, have the owner put stop slip in it, because maybe the transmission will stop slipping, and not only that, you'll get a reliable car, and the owner will be able to get more money for the car. Now, oftentimes, that might not be the situation, but you never know. You might want to try. So the next one that I have is a 2010 Nissan Altima. I used to have a 2010, and this 2010 has 290,000 miles on it. And it's out of Charlotte, North Carolina. The only problem that this car has is there's a tiny bit of paint fade on the roof. Now, the tiny bit of paint fade is not that bad considering it gets hotter than a Saudi Arabian desert or Phoenix, Arizona. Now, on those things, you want to keep an eye out for the Jatco CVT transition. If you're trying to buy that car, if you can't get proof that the CVT transmission was changed, run the hell away from that thing. Now, if you can see that the CVT fluid was changed, only $1,900 for a 2010, you might not mind. Yeah, you might not mind spending $1,900. Now, 290,000 miles is a lot of miles, and that's not going to be something that's going to last you another 20, 30 years. It's already got 300,000 miles on the thing. Okay, so the next one is a 1997 Nissan Sentra, and it's the GE package, which isn't the standard transmission. Now, I will say one thing about that 97 Sentra, is it is going to be slow as cold molasses. Those things are automatic sloths when they're driving down the road. The 5-speed, it's a little bit of a bird with different feathers, a little bit faster. And that's the reason why I would not buy a automatic Altima when I needed a new Altima. Because I knew that thing, hey, doing 65 miles an hour on the highway, it would have been at like 4,000 RPMs. And I like the feeling of power. I like to be able to get up to 65 and launch off my seat. It's the reason why I can't stand this 4-cylinder garbage. A lot of the modern RAV4s, they have excellent engines in them, but they are slow as can be. The best Toyota RAV4 in my mind is the 08 to 2011 LE Limited, or SLE Limited, because they have a V6 engine, and they got a 3.5 liter V6 engine. Those engines were used in the Lexus 350 ESs that are indestructible engines. I've seen them with well over 300,000 miles on them, on the original engine. Look up videos and you'll see the real life. Now, a BMW at 70,000 miles is usually falling apart, because there's quality and there's bad quality. Okay, the next one is going to be a 2004 Ford Explorer. And this Explorer was a fleet-used vehicle. It's got a slipping transmission in it, and the guy's asking $3 for it. Walk away from that deal unless you can get it for $15. Because the truck only has 158,000 miles on. Now, if you can get it for $1,500, you know, you could usually get a remand in that thing, and it might last some time. You know, that's got a 4.6 liter V8 engine in it because it's the Eddie Bauer package, and those are excellent engines. They use them in Crown Victorias, Mercurys, Mustangs, F-150 pickup trucks, Crown Victoria Interceptor police cars, work vans. Those 4.6 liter engines can last forever. Now, unfortunately, on the Explorers, you know, the transmissions usually do take a dump at about 160,000 miles. Now, if you can get a trans in that thing, it's not a bad idea to pick it up, you know. And they got a nice leather seat system. And, you know, you could either go spend 80 grand on a new Explorer or get an old hoopty like that one and toss a transmission in it. Just when you toss the transmission in it, just be sure you don't blow out your back picking up the transmission. Next question is about my check engine light coming on, and what should I do? Well, I think that you should first exit the vehicle and pop the hood and make sure the check engine, check and make sure that the engine is still there. Now, if you still see an engine in the car, chances are there is still an engine, unless it's an optical delusion. I don't know. But in that case, you plug your scan tool in and see what's up. Email me the code and I can tell you what it is. If it's a Mercedes-Benz, it might have 80 or 90 codes, and you might say, oh, well, I don't really want to know what's going on with this car. Now, if it's a Toyota Corolla, it's probably an oxygen sensor.